With an estimated 3 million electric cars cruising on American roads, an urgent warning this morning following multiple reports of drivers getting stuck inside the vehicles or locked out of them if an onboard battery dies.
EV owners are furious. The repair cost for these shiny new cars is just too much that it is not even worth fixing a broken EV anymore. Can you imagine? See, the electric vehicle revolution looked promising, but it's hitting some financial bumps. So what does this mean for you and the industry too, and what the heck happened? Is this the start of the end? Many believed electric cars would be cheaper to own than gas-powered ones, but that idea is now facing some serious scrutiny. Reality is setting in, and owners are discovering unexpected repair costs that contradict the claims of lower expenses. Take Scott McFig for example. He thought he was making a savvy choice by going electric, only to find himself overwhelmed by repair bills. His experience echoes a growing concern among EV owners who feel they've been misled by marketing that downplays maintenance realities, like claiming fewer moving parts and no oil changes. While it's true that electric vehicles usually need less regular maintenance, goodbye oil changes, and spark plugs, the real financial strain often lurks in other areas. The complex nature of EV technology, especially the intricate battery systems, can lead to costly repairs that erase any initial savings. This shocking gap between expectations and reality is prompting many to question the true costs of owning electric vehicles. It's a conversation that needs to happen as we navigate the future of transportation. Deconstructing the myth of low EV maintenance. Electric vehicles are seen as the cleaner and cheaper choice for driving, giving you the impression of a super easy alternative to traditional gasoline cars. Imagine not having to deal with those annoying oil changes, fuel filters, spark plugs, and complicated exhaust systems anymore. Plus, EVs are gentle on your brakes, thanks to regenerative braking systems that help reduce wear. According to the US Department of Energy, this feature adds to their appeal as low-maintenance champs. But hold on a second, the details can really throw a wrench in that shiny image. Yes, EVs cut out a bunch of the usual maintenance hassles, but their advanced technology can lead to new hurdles, especially when it comes to repair bills. Car manufacturers love to brag about having fewer moving parts, yet they often overlook the hefty costs tied to key components like batteries, electric motors, and the high-tech electronics that keep everything running smoothly. Speaking of batteries, let's get down to brass tacks. They are the heart and soul of an EV, and they don't come cheap. For instance, swapping out a battery in a Tesla Model 3 can set you back up to $13,000, which is more than 30% of the car's original price. This stark reality really clashes with that idea that EVs are wallet-friendly when it comes to maintenance. Many newcomers to the EV world are left surprised when they face the high costs of repairs. While basic upkeep might be relatively simple, things can get pricey fast if something goes wrong, especially with the battery. You'll need specialized skills and tools for repairs, which jacks up labor costs and can stretch out repair times, especially since there's a shortage of skilled technicians. So the dream of maintenance-free driving is not quite all it's cracked up to be. See, when you hop into an EV, you can truly say goodbye to all those bothersome oil changes, spark plugs, and exhaust work. But the complexity of these vehicles opens the door to various potential issues that can lead to unexpectedly high repair costs. While car makers rush to highlight the benefits of fewer moving parts, they often skip over the intricate, sometimes costly repairs needed for essential parts like batteries, electric motors, and the sophisticated technology that makes these cars buzz with life. But don't just take my word for it, look at the early adopters. Real-world sticker shock. Stories from electric vehicle owners reveal just how steep repair costs can soar. Take Scott McFig for instance. He ended up with a jaw-dropping $22,000 bill just for a dent on his Rivian truck. And then there's the Tesla Model S owner who was hit with a staggering $117,000 bill after a fender bender damaged his car's aluminum body panels. These eye-opening examples show that while electric vehicles are built with cutting-edge materials for better performance, those very materials can lead to sky-high repair expenses. But it doesn't stop at batteries. Other components, like charging units, also add to the overall costs. Installing a home charging station can set you back anywhere from $500 to $2,000, depending on the specifics of the installation. On top of that, let's not forget about the ongoing electricity costs that many owners might overlook before making their purchase. Even basic parts like wiper blades and tires come with inflated price tags. EV wiper blades upgrades can cost more than $50 due to their unique design, and performance tires tend to be 20 to 30% pricier than those for traditional vehicles. With manufacturers using proprietary parts, owners often find themselves with limited affordable aftermarket options. So while many people laud electric vehicles for requiring less maintenance than internal combustion engine vehicles, they often don't realize that repairs for essential components like batteries and specialized parts can lead to unexpected expenses. It's crucial for buyers to look beyond the initial savings on fuel and routine maintenance and truly understand the overall cost of ownership before jumping into the electric vehicle world. But let's about the batteries for a sec, because when it comes to EVs, that is the most important thing, and right now, let's just say it is not looking for the customers. Let me explain. Pandora's box of complications. Beneath the sleek, futuristic exteriors of electric vehicles lies a hidden Pandora's box of potential financial headaches for owners. At the heart of every EV is its battery, a highly advanced, celebrated component that powers the vehicle and represents the cutting edge of transportation technology. But this very same battery is quickly becoming a major source of trouble for many EV owners. A single malfunction or accident involving the battery can lead to repair bills that rival or even exceed the entire value of the vehicle. What was once seen as a savvy, cost-effective choice can rapidly transform into a heavy financial burden, and the innovative design of EV batteries, while impressive, also introduces concerning vulnerabilities. These batteries are composed of thousands of individual cells working together to power the car, but this intricate arrangement means that when just one of those cells fails, it can compromise the entire system, like a ticking time bomb, invisible but ever present. Even something as minor as a small bump against a curb could cause internal damage that doesn't reveal itself until much later, by which point the consequences can be catastrophic. To fully grasp the financial impact of a failing EV battery, you need to understand its anatomy. A typical battery pack contains thousands of delicate lithium-ion cells, organized into modules. Each cell is a miniature powerhouse, crucial to the battery's function, but also incredibly fragile. Imagine a finely tuned orchestra where every musician or cell must play in perfect harmony. If just one falters, the entire performance is thrown off. Similarly, if a single cell degrades or fails, the whole battery pack can suffer, leading to underperformance or even complete failure. Making matters worse, many EV manufacturers design their batteries with limited repairability. The cells are often glued or welded together, making it nearly impossible to replace just one without damaging the others. This lack of modularity means that even a minor issue could necessitate a complete battery replacement, and that's where the financial pain really begins. Repairing or replacing a single EV battery pack can cost a lot and depends on the model. That's a massive hit to the wallet, and for many owners, it's an expense they simply can't afford. This completely changes the mindset around EV ownership, transforming it from a long-term investment in sustainability to a product that's more disposable than durable. Plus, you might not know this, but the rapid depreciation of EVs compared to their gasoline-powered counterparts is another consequence of this battery-related financial minefield. Concerns about battery longevity and expensive repairs contribute to the perception that EVs lose value faster. For owners, this means they may struggle to sell or trade in their vehicle down the line, as the car's worth plummets in tandem with its battery's health. So what should we do when we are faced with a costly dilemma? Repair or replace? When electric vehicle owners face battery issues, they're left scratching their heads. Should they go for a repair or just replace the whole thing? Repairing individual battery cells may seem like the cheaper option, but it often comes with a whole host of its own complications. The repair process requires specialized knowledge and high-tech equipment, including training on how to handle the inherent risks of working with powerful lithium-ion technology. And finding technicians who are actually qualified to do this kind of repair work, good luck with that. Many independent mechanics simply don't have the required expertise, which leaves owners facing long wait times, sky-high labor costs, and no guarantee the repair will even hold up long-term. Then there's the replacement route, which, while straightforward, can easily cost more than $20,000. That's an astronomical sum that many EV owners, who were drawn to these vehicles hoping to save on maintenance, just can't afford. Dropping that much cash on a new battery pack can instantly turn a perfectly functional car into a nearly worthless asset, especially for older models. These financial dilemmas truly come to life in the real-world stories of EV owners. Take the Tesla Model S owner, who faced relatively minor body damage that ended up costing a fortune to fix because it involved the battery casing. The repair costs were so high that the insurance company just decided to write the whole vehicle off. In another jaw-dropping case, a Tesla owner shelled out nearly $15,000 on a brand new battery after just one measly cell went bad. That eye-watering expense effectively turned their car into a financial liability, worth far less than what they'd originally paid. Anecdotes like these paint a vivid picture of how quickly an electric vehicle can go from being a beloved asset to a serious financial burden that owners never saw coming. No matter if you choose to repair or replace, the battery issues plaguing EVs can leave your wallet in critical condition. Trapped in the repair cycle. Have you ever found yourself feeling completely lost, like you're wandering through a vast, barren desert with no map or compass to guide you? Many electric vehicle owners can relate to that feelings of helplessness today. In fact, the landscape of EV repairs is rapidly turning into an isolated wasteland, where affordable and easily accessible repair options seem as elusive as a mirage shimmering in the distance. Navigating this challenging landscape, it feels as though EV owners are often stranded in their quest for viable repair solutions. The exciting transition from traditional gas-powered automobiles to innovative electric ones is dampened by the fact that the necessary repair infrastructure simply hasn't kept pace. Many independent garages are unwilling to invest in the expensive equipment and specialized training required to effectively service electric vehicles. Did you know that setting up a garage to handle 400 and 800 volt systems can cost as much as $32,600? This steep setup cost results in limited options for EV owners, who frequently find themselves relying on manufacturer-affiliated service centers with ticket prices that can leave them gasping in shock. This situation takes a heavy emotional toll on EV owners. Picture this: you've invested in a state-of-the-art, environmentally friendly vehicle, fully expecting efficiency and innovation at every turn. But when something goes wrong and it requires repairs, you're suddenly stuck in a waiting game that drags on for weeks or even months. The plain truth is that many independent mechanics simply aren't equipped to handle the unique challenges that come with EV-specific issues. As a result, owners are left feeling rather isolated in their frustrating search for assistance. The emotional burden that EV owners face is tangible and can weigh heavily on their psyche. Just imagine the disappointment. You've made a significant investment in a vehicle that's meant to represent the future of transportation, but when it finally needs attention, you're met with indefinite delays for finding essential parts or securing appointments. For many, this all too common feeling of being abandoned in their time of need is compounded by the reality that numerous independent mechanics lack both the training and resources to adequately address EV-specific needs. Thus, owners find themselves ensnared in a relentless cycle of isolation, perpetually searching for help but discovering little to none. When it comes to the repair process for EVs, it can feel strikingly similar to being trapped in an intricate maze. Consider the experience of Christopher Bernier, a real-life example that many can relate to. His Chevy Equinox EV developed a bothersome problem with its tail lamp housing, an issue that allowed water to seep in. Upon contacting his dealership, he was dismayed to learn that the necessary part was back-ordered for what seemed like an eternity. He ended up without a working vehicle, compelled to rent a gas-powered car as he waited for his EV to be repaired, a situation that felt exhausting and disheartening. Sadly, stories like Bernier's aren't isolated incidents. Many EV owners have taken to online platforms to share their grievances, expressing their frustration over what can feel like endless wait times and abysmal communication from service providers. One Rivian owner even noted that his vehicle remained stuck in the shop for a staggering full year, all just to replace a single-side camera. These agonizing delays shine a light on the inefficiencies that plague the EV repair process, leaving owners feeling vulnerable and at the mercy of profit-driven systems that seem to prioritize the financial interests of manufacturers over genuine customer satisfaction. Now, here's the thing: dealing with EV repairs can be incredibly frustrating, but have you ever thought about how navigating the insurance landscape feels just as much like a game of chance? The insurance gamble. It's true. Insurance providers are still trying to wrap their heads around the intricate details that come with repairing electric vehicles. This lack of understanding often leads to inconsistent coverage and unpredictable costs. Without standardized practices in place to evaluate the damage sustained by electric vehicles, some insurers might tragically write off an entire car due to minor damage to the battery casing, which can lead to significant financial losses for the owners involved. Take, for instance, a Hyundai Kona that was involved in an accident and suffered relatively minor damage. Due to the existing confusion surrounding the repairs of its battery, the repair shop decided to label the vehicle as irreparable, despite it being operationally sound. This type of misunderstanding about electric vehicle technology can result in major financial consequences for owners who just want to get back on the road without breaking the bank. Imagine the stress that comes with that hefty repair bill financial burden, especially when you also have to battle over insurance coverage. This combination only worsens the anxiety associated with owning an electric vehicle. With repair costs on the rise, insurance premiums often follow suit, creating even more financial strain for those who've made the switch to electric. The narratives being shared by electric vehicle owners really highlight the deep-seated frustration woven into this repair ecosystem. It's not just about logistical woes. Think long wait times for parts or unclear communication from service centers. It's also about the emotional toll that comes from trying to navigate an industry that appears overwhelmed and ill-prepared to cater to the unique needs of electric vehicles. While electric vehicles certainly promise environmental advantages and the potential for lower maintenance costs, there are hidden challenges lurking beneath the surface that leave many owners feeling trapped. Limited repair options can lead to exasperating long delays, and the unpredictable outcomes of insurance claims only add fuel to an already burning fire of frustration. As the industry continues to evolve, it's crucial for manufacturers, insurers, and service providers alike to come together and address these systemic issues. Only then can they foster a more supportive and responsive environment that truly benefits electric vehicle ownership. But I know what you're thinking now. What about a used EV? That seems to be the current trend. Well, let's talk about it. The used car conundrum. Have you noticed how dramatically the electric vehicle landscape has shifted in recent years? For many electric vehicle owners, it's like watching a roller coaster take a sudden and unexpected plunge. That plunge represents the steep decline in their investment's value, which has been falling at an alarming rate. This phenomenon is often referred to as the Great EV Value Plunge, and it presents a disheartening reality for those who believed they were making a smart financial choice by purchasing an electric vehicle. Unfortunately, the once glimmering idea of EVs being solid long-term investments is rapidly fading, replaced by a harsh truth. These vehicles are depreciating much faster than anyone anticipated. Imagine for a moment standing at the edge of a steep cliff, helplessly watching as your financial investment tumbles down into the abyss below. That's exactly how many electric vehicle owners feel as their vehicles lose value much more quickly than they could have possibly imagined. Reports indicate that some electric vehicle models have depreciated by a staggering 30% or more within just 1 year of purchase. This rapid decline is not merely a statistic, it's a gut-wrenching reality for those who initially thought they were investing in the future of transportation. Recent data from CarWow brings this unsettling situation into sharper focus. Popular models like the Tesla Model 3 and Nissan Leaf have experienced notable drops in their resale values. On average, traditional gasoline-powered cars depreciate by about 15% annually. However, many electric vehicles are now seeing their value plummet at a rate that is twice as high. For instance, the Tesla Model 3, which was once celebrated for its innovation and revolutionary sustainability, has witnessed its value plummet by 30%, dropping from $49,000 to just $34,000. Similarly, the Nissan Leaf, which initially sold for around $32,000, now can only fetch about $22,500 in today's market. This dramatic depreciation raises some pressing questions about the long-term viability of electric vehicles as a worthy investment. While lower running costs and appealing environmental benefits may draw buyers in, serious concerns about resale value and overall ownership expenses linger heavily in the air. The fear of experiencing rapid depreciation complicates the landscape of the used electric vehicle market, making it increasingly difficult for prospective buyers to commit to a purchase. Beyond just depreciation, there are also growing worries related to battery degradation and the constantly evolving technology in electric vehicles. Batteries tend to lose capacity over time, sometimes deteriorating by anywhere from 1.8% to 2.3% annually. This degradation plays a crucial role in determining an electric vehicle's resale value. As a result, many buyers hesitate to invest in used electric vehicles vehicles, fearing they may soon face hefty costs for battery replacements. Let's talk about Sarah, a prospective buyer who has her sights set on making the switch to electric. She's excited about the possibilities, but is also quite candid about her concerns regarding battery life. I'm a bit hesitant to buy a used electric vehicle because I just don't know how much longer that battery will last. Mark, another potential buyer, echoes her worries by adding, "The thought of spending thousands on a battery replacement is downright daunting." These sentiments reflect a broader anxiety that many feel surrounding the long-term viability of purchasing used electric vehicles. The reality is vividly clear. The used electric vehicle market is riddled with challenges stemming from those rapid depreciation rates and doubts about battery longevity. As the values of these vehicles continue to plunge, potential buyers hesitate to commit, all due to fears of expensive repairs and unavoidable replacements. It becomes apparent that while electric vehicles symbolize the future of transportation and sustainable mobility, the current dynamics of the market create significant hurdles for both existing owners and interested buyers. The dream of eco-friendly personal transport is often overshadowed by financial realities that require careful thought and deep consideration from everyone engaged in this fast-evolving landscape. As we gaze into the future, where electric mobility is increasingly prioritized for its undeniable environmental benefits, it will be essential for manufacturers to address these pressing concerns with transparency. This important step is crucial if they want to restore consumer confidence and ensure that electric vehicles fulfill their potential as viable alternatives to traditional combustion engines. But let's talk about that environmental benefit too, because trust me, it is as messy as it can get. The environmental irony. Electric vehicles, or EVs, are often praised as the eco-friendly alternative to traditional gas-powered cars. But have you considered the irony that lurks beneath this green facade? The production and disposal of electric vehicle batteries come with significant environmental costs that we cannot overlook. Manufacturing lithium-ion batteries is no walk in the park. It's actually a resource-intensive process that demands enormous amounts of water and energy. This hefty requirement leads to substantial carbon dioxide emissions, which contradict the very purpose of these vehicles. And let's talk about the raw materials that make these batteries possible. Essential components like lithium and cobalt are critical for battery production, yet their extraction raises serious ethical and environmental concerns. Many of the mines where these resources are sourced are located in developing nations, where mining practices often lead to environmental degradation and exploitative labor conditions. So while we're trying to drive toward a greener future, we might be stepping over some troubling stones along the way. But hold on, it doesn't end there. Once these batteries reach the end of their useful life, a whole new set of challenges arises. Current recycling technologies for lithium-ion batteries are far from perfect. They tend to be energy-intensive and inefficient. Believe it or not, in some situations, the recycling process may cause more environmental harm than it mitigates from the vehicle's earlier use. This results in a paradox that's hard to swallow. Although electric vehicles are engineered to lower emissions during their operation, the production and disposal processes of their batteries often negate those environmental benefits. So what can we do to address the sustainability challenges posed by electric vehicle batteries? Well, it's going to require much more than simply improving recycling methods. Manufacturers need to rethink how they design batteries and manage their life cycle right from the get-go. By prioritizing repairability and resource conservation throughout the battery's entire life, we could potentially lessen some of the environmental impacts. Additionally, it's crucial for governments and consumers alike to advocate for transparency when it comes to sourcing materials and understanding the environmental costs associated with production. As society prepares to embrace electric mobility solutions more widely, tackling these underlying issues will become increasingly important. We need to ensure that the transition to electric vehicles is not only sustainable, but also financially viable for everyone involved in this evolving landscape. So the next time you consider jumping on the electric vehicle bandwagon, remember that it's not just about what you drive, it's about how those very vehicles are produced, recycled, and managed over their lifespan. But what's your thoughts on this? Let's know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.